Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Alex. I am a sex coach, and today I am going over the only 3 sex positions you really need to have great sex. You don't need the whole Kama Sutra in order to have a great sexual experience. Just these 3 are enough, really, because there's a lot of variety involved with them anyway. And they're really enough to have a great sexual experience. So let's get into it and let's learn what these positions are. Position number 1, and probably 99% of people's go-to position, is missionary. And missionary is really great for so many reasons. It's a highly stimulating position physically, just the way that things are lining up and the angles at which stuff is going inside other stuff. This is my language for YouTube. Also, you have the ability for direct communication with your partner because you're staring right at them, right? You have the ability for eye contact, for kissing, for all sorts of things, for touching. Your hands are pretty free, male or female, top or bottom. Your hands are pretty free to do a lot of stuff. It's just a really great position. You can also manipulate the position of your partner's legs and your legs and all these kind of things to little subtle nuances that are going to change the entire feel of that position. So it's actually, people always think that missionary sex is like, that's boring, right? But just because it's common doesn't mean it's boring. And it's common for a reason. It's because it's great. It's awesome. And honestly, you could probably have only this position and be fine for the rest of your life because there are so many things you can do to change it up, to add variety, to add some mental stimulation components with the talking. I mean, you're right there. You can whisper into their ear. You can just talk to them directly. You can force them to look into your eyes. All of these psychological things that are going to keep your partner engrossed, stimulated, and focused on the sex the whole time, which will make the sexual experience amazing and awesome and extremely pleasurable. So, do missionary. As if you aren't already, right? Sex position number 2, and this is a really good one as well, and that is the good old-fashioned doggy style, right? You know, that is a pretty common one as well, and it is common for the same reason missionary is pretty common, because it's pretty awesome. And it's pretty easy to do as well. You just have one person on their hands and knees. You can even go laying down. I would consider that still kind of doggy style. But, you know, hitting it from behind, that is a completely different sensation than missionary. So these two kind of are all you really need because you have the kind of opposite physical sensations, the way the body parts are lining up. You also have complete access to their backside. You can do a lot of cool things, cool creative things with doggy style. There's a lot of variety as well. You can hold on to their ankle, you can pull their hair, you can grab their neck. I mean, you can do a lot of things with this, touching wise. You can still talk to them. It's a very kind of dominant position as well. So if you're into that and your partner is into submission, then, you know, that's a good thing too. It's going to be mentally stimulating for you doing that. So, I mean, nothing new here, nothing groundbreaking. But, you know, these sexual positions are extremely common for a reason. Like I said with the missionary position, it's because they work. And they work for so many different people. If you have crazy height discrepancies, then it may be a little bit hard to do doggy style. It would be probably the hardest of these 3 to kind of sort out because as a guy you might need to go higher up on your knees with your knees closer together so you're a little bit taller. As a girl you might need to spread your legs a little bit more, spread your knees wider so that you're a little bit of a lower target if you're a tall girl and you're with a shorter guy, or just how it is. But you can make it work, and even if you have these pretty large height discrepancies, it'll still work. And you can always use like a pillow to prop yourself up or anything like that, and you're golden. So do more doggy style. Again, as if you're not already doing it. Sex position number 3 is cowgirl, or girl on top, or receiver on top if you're into not women. And this is, you can have your partner facing toward you, facing away. I think facing toward you is better for the reasons that missionary is such a good position because you have direct access to their body, communication, and you can look right into their eyes, and yeah, it's awesome. It can also be a great thing to kind of switch roles. A lot of times the person receiving the penetration is not really in control, and in this position they can be highly in control if they're kind of the ones doing the work in this position. You can also have the guy giving still being in control of that experience, and it's a great sexual position to be in. There's a lot of variety with it in terms of body position and stuff like that. And it's pretty sexy. You get to look up at your partner. It's a good angle for guys, and I guess it's a good angle for girls, right? So, why these 3 sex positions? Well, because they're easy, they're not crazy, they're not too hard to do, and honestly, you don't need to focus that much on physical stimulation. You don't need to focus that much on what sex position you're doing to spice up your sex. The more important thing you should be focusing on are psychological factors, dirty talking, keeping your partner engaged, those kind of touches that just let your partner know you're there other than just the penetration and the thrusting, but those sensual things that you're doing to keep your partner engaged, mentally stimulated, mentally present in that experience. That is what's going to determine quality much more than whatever sexual position you're in. So keep it simple, keep physical stimulation simple, and work on your psychological stimulation, work on your dirty talk. Dirty talk is like the #1 thing you can do in sex to create better sexual experiences. So do whatever position works for you, really. Missionary will pretty much work for everyone, but I mean, there are some people, and variety is nice too. If you do end up switching up these sex positions, doing whatever you want, you don't have to stick with this 3. You can do really whatever you want in terms of sex. I would say use it more for the variety part than trying to create some kind of physically driven sex, because there needs to be psychological stimulation in order to have better sex. So that's what you should be focusing on, not necessarily the physical part, like I've said about 1,000 times already. So anyway, I hope you learned something. Hope you found this video informative. If you did, leave me a like, leave me a comment. You can ask me any questions down there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, coming back for more sex content. And until next time, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.